Okay, let's talk about something we've all been through. Have you ever left a meeting with a business advisory service provider and just felt completely lost? Like you understood fewer things than when you walked in? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on all that deliberately confusing language. This is your guide to finally cutting through the noise.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You're sitting there and words like synergy, paradigm shift, and leveraging assets are just flying past your head. It feels like you're trying to drink from a fire hose of corporate speak. It's frustrating, for sure, and we're about to get to the bottom of why it happens.
And look, if you feel like you're trying to find your way through a maze in the dark, you are definitely not alone. But here's the thing you have to understand. That feeling of confusion, it's often intentional. This language isn't just complicated by accident. It's a tool, and it has a very specific purpose.
So, let's dig into that purpose. Let's talk about why this secret language is so common in the first place. Because the reasons, as you're about to see, are a lot more strategic than you might think. Okay, so this really gets to the heart of it. This jargon, the secret language, it usually serves one of two purposes. First, it's about creating authority. Using big, complex words makes someone sound like they have some secret knowledge that you don't. But honestly, the second one is way more common. It's used to mask uncertainty. When someone doesn't really have a clear answer, they can just build a wall of fancy words to hide behind.
All right, now for the fun part. Let's get out our decoder rings. We are going to break down some of the most overused buzzwords out there so you can see what they're really trying to say.
First up, a classic, low-hanging fruit. Oh, the pitch sounds fantastic. Who doesn't want quick and easy wins to get the ball rolling? But what's really happening here? It often means, let's do the easy, visible stuff so we look busy, and, let's just push that really difficult, actually important work off for another day.
Ah, the action plan. It sounds so official, so decisive, doesn't it? But 9 times out of 10, it's little more than a vague to-do list. And here's the kicker. It's the perfect tool to justify more meetings, more work, and more billable hours, all without ever having to commit to a firm, measurable outcome. Now, this one is sneaky. Let's not boil the ocean. It's presented as this piece of wise advice, a warning against trying to do too much. But in reality, it's a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's an excuse to shrink the scope of a project so much that if something goes wrong later, they can say, well, we told you we couldn't do everything. It's a way to avoid accountability. And of course, the king of all buzzwords, synergy. That magical business math where 1 + 1 = 3. It's the go-to word to sell massive, expensive projects. But here's the secret. Nobody ever goes back to measure the synergy. It's a word used to justify a decision, not to guarantee a result. So, okay, these are just words, right? Who cares? Well, it turns out there are real, tangible consequences when this kind of jargon runs wild in a business. Let's see what that actually looks like. Let's make this real. Imagine this. A client asks for a deep dive, a full market analysis. The advisory firm comes back and says, whoa, let's not boil the ocean here, and they slash the scope of the project. So what happens? They completely miss a new aggressive competitor entering the market, and 6 months down the line, the client gets absolutely blindsided. That is a real-world failure caused by a single buzzword. And that's exactly what it can feel like. Your business is left completely stranded, facing a huge storm that you had no idea was even brewing. And it all happened because the warning signs were conveniently hidden behind a nice, simple-sounding phrase. So the costs are very, very real. This kind of vague talk leads to total misalignment. You think you're working on one thing, your team thinks it's another. It leads to so much wasted time and money on work that doesn't even hit the right target. And maybe worst of all, it breaks trust, because eventually you realize all that talk was just covering up a total lack of substance. Okay, that's the bad news. But here's the good news. You are not powerless here. Not at all. So let's talk about your toolkit. Let's give you some actual, practical ways to fight back and start demanding clarity. It really boils down to 3 simple things you can do, and they're not aggressive or confrontational. It's about shifting the responsibility for being clear back to the person who's speaking. First, demand plain English. Just ask, can you say that again in simple terms? Second, ask for concrete examples. And third, just politely challenge the vagueness. You have every right to understand what's being sold to you. Now here is a fantastic little tool. It's like a conversational judo move. The next time you hear a long stream of jargon, just pause and say, okay, so what I think I'm hearing you say is,
And then you repeat it back to them in the simplest language you can think of. It forces them to either agree with your clear summary or try to explain what they really meant. Either way, you win.
And here's another killer phrase. This one is all about accountability. When you hear some big promise about creating value or driving synergy, just ask this simple question. How will we measure this? That one question completely changes the conversation. It moves it away from vague promises and toward concrete, measurable results. I mean, just look at the difference here. The before is that nonsense sentence. We'll leverage our holistic ecosystem to synergistically unlock value-add opportunities. What does that even mean? And the after is what you can get to by asking good questions. We will find specific ways to increase your revenue by 15%. Now that is something you can work with. And that's really what it comes down to, isn't it? It's the difference between this tangled, chaotic mess on one side and a clear, straight path forward on the other. That is the incredible power of just demanding plain English. You know, at the end of the day, pushing for clear communication isn't about being difficult. It's just smart business. Plain language builds trust because it's honest. It makes collaboration better because everybody's actually on the same page. And it helps you make better decisions faster because you're working with real information, not a bunch of fluff. So let's leave it with this thought. Language is a tool. It can be used to hide the truth, to confuse, and to avoid responsibility. Or it can be used to reveal the truth, to align people, and to get things done. By knowing the games people play, the choice of how that tool gets used, well, that choice is now yours. So the real question is, are you going to demand clarity?